So my big controversial video about other anime YouTubers has stirred up all kinds of conversation, but one of the most interesting threads that I've seen coming up time and again, and most prominently in Gigic's response video, is this idea that I should not be critical of other YouTubers for their stylistic choices, I guess, is the best way of putting it, or demanding that people make things that are more like what I want to see. And I find this perplexing because I have to wonder, what do you guys think I've been doing all this time, and what have you been doing all this time? It makes me think about the idea that the reason this is suddenly a problem is because on YouTube, the artist is not abstracted at all. When you're making a YouTube video, it's you. Your name's on it. You know, your internet handle, your internet persona is right there on the title of the video. Gigic, when he makes a video, he's Gigic on Twitter, he's Gigic on the video. So when you criticize his style, it's like you're criticizing him personally. And I think that's why when YouTubers criticize each other, it becomes drama as opposed to criticism. Which is funny because it's exactly what we're doing to all these other artists every day when we make critical analysis of their work. It's no different. The artist is still the person who made that thing. It's just there's a little bit more abstraction because the art is not literally them. You know, in the way that my videos, like this one, it's if you're criticizing this video, you're essentially criticizing me. But I don't think it's actually different. Because an artist's work is always an artist's work. It's always what they do. It's always what they're trying to put out there. I don't think me shitting on a Gigic video is any different from me shitting on Sword Art Online, which I've done so much. You know, I've called out the author, Reki Kawahara, by name many times in those videos, and no one ever had a problem with that, you know? But once it's in the same neck of the woods as me, and it's like, oh, this is a community, you know, so you don't want to fuck with other people in the same community, even though we're all part of the same community, the human being, the global community, you know, like the Reki Kawahara is a part of the anime community. He's a man who writes, you know, who writes light novels. So the difference is that he's Japanese and will probably never see my videos, you know, so it probably doesn't bother anybody. But the funny thing is, it does happen. Lots of people see the criticism of their work. You know, this is normal. Kevin Smith, you know, famously would always react to critics who were constantly shitting on his movies, and people acted like he was the asshole for responding, you know, for being upset that people were talking shit about his movies. You know, no one would ever call the critics the assholes in that situation. You know, if you watch YMS's videos, he has had several times where the directors of the films responded to his videos, oftentimes very unhappy. You know, look at the response that he got to his criticisms of Megan is Missing, or I think Cyberbully as well, where the directors were going around, you know, shitting on critics and stuff who would criticize their work. You're talking about someone's personal and professional reputation, you know, when you shit on their content. But that's what we're all doing. Now, Gigic's big point in his video was, don't try to be like Digibro, don't even try to be like me. Be your own animal, you know, make your own content that appeals to you. Yeah, fine, that's a nice platitude, but may I remind you that what Gigic's video was about, that I was criticizing, was about how much The Big Bang Theory sucks for not adhering to his sense of humor. You know, like, he's criticizing this show for its comedy writing style. He's talking about how he thinks this is bad comedy. And there's plenty of people out there who love The Big Bang Theory, very popular show, you know, obviously reviled by a certain circuit. It's a very easy target. I know I've taken pot shots at it myself, never in like a main series video or anything, but, you know, it's fun to make fun of, sure, but it's someone's work. You know, all the people who make it are artists just like us, and, you know, propping up Konosuba and saying, this is what I think comedy should be like. It's literally the exact same thing as what I'm doing in my video, saying this is what I think analysis videos should be like. Just so happens that what I want from them is also what I'm doing with them. Which, I mean, even that, the parallel can be drawn because Gigic is praising his own abridged series in that video for doing some of the same things that the Konosuba anime does. So he's basically saying, make comedy like my comedy if you want to appeal to me. Sounds like a pretty familiar sentiment, you know. Granted, he didn't call The Big Bang Theory a bunch of assholes or anything for making their show, but he did mock it pretty openly, you know. Now, you could say that The Big Bang Theory is punching up, more popular show than Gigguk, you know, so he's hitting up there. I don't think you would necessarily say the same of even YMS, whose channel is probably bigger than a lot of the movies he's shitting on. I mean, not that he's really a part of this conversation. Maybe you do have a problem with the way he shits on movies, but I don't see it. I don't see a lot of people talking about this unless it's YouTubers, because when it's YouTubers, it's suddenly drama. It's suddenly a community tearing itself apart and not just people criticizing other people's work, you know? So, yeah, I just want to put this out there that the artist is not abstract. You know, what I'm criticizing these people for is their art that I think is not good. A lot of people were upset that I criticized RC Anime for his voice. They were like, you can't change your voice. And I'm like, if there was a voice actor who we all thought had an annoying voice, you know, then we would not want to hire them, and we would say that they shouldn't be a voice actor, you know. Doing YouTube is a job that involves your voice, if you're doing it like this. There's a lot of YouTubers out there who pay someone else to do voice acting for them because they're not good at talking. Extra Credits, for the longest time, one of the biggest analytical video game series, was written by one guy and acted by another guy because the guy who wrote it was not very good at delivering scripts. So, you know, there's plenty of ways around it. There's plenty of ways you can change it. We don't ordinarily tell people, like, yeah, keep doing that thing that you're terrible at in the way you're doing it and don't try to change it. You know, like ordinarily we would tell someone, maybe rethink your approach there, buddy. Now look, another part of Gigguk's point in his video was that it is possibly discouraging, I guess, to tell, you know, a bunch of people that they suck, essentially, to say if you're not writing in this style, then you're bad. But I mean, if you watch enough of my videos, you know that I'm more encouraging to new artists than like anybody. A lot of my videos are dedicated to encouraging people, but you have to know that in order to become an artist, you have to suck. You have to suck for a long time. That is part of the process. No one comes out good. You know, you will suck at what you're doing, and someone needs to tell you that you suck, or else you're not going to think about how to improve, you know? I had a long stretch of time where one of the biggest motivators for me to get better as a writer was that I wasn't showing up in people's blog rolls. A blog roll, for those who don't know, back in the anime blogging days, a lot of people had something called a blog roll, where it was just a list of blogs that they are a fan of or that they're friends with that would be on the sidebar of their website. And when there was an anime blogger who I respected, but I wasn't on their blog roll, I took that as a sign that either they have a problem with me or I'm not good enough, you know? And so I would strive to try to write posts that I thought would make that person think I was cool, you know, that would make them think I was a good writer so that I could get onto that blog roll. That's the kind of motivators that I think people, you know, that people need to grow and get better, is to be told, hey, you know, what you're doing right now is not cutting it, so fucking step it up a notch, you know? If you're someone who hears I'm not, like, you know, you suck and you give up, then you're not going to make it. I mean, there you go, you've given up. You're not going to make it any farther, you know? You have to suck. It will happen. No one gets good before sucking, you know? So this is why I think it's important to levy these kinds of criticisms, however harsh they may be. And they don't have to be as harsh as the way I did it, sure. But that's the way I chose to do it. And it's just the way that my videos play out, you know? If the way I presented it suddenly makes it so you can't take it seriously, then fine, don't take me seriously. I'm just one critic. You don't have to listen to me. But if me saying that you suck and putting it like an asshole gets under your skin, use that as motivation to get better. You know, if it bothers you that I think you suck, then try to make something that will appeal to me. Anyway, that's it for that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.